So I don't get like speech jammed from the feedback.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Parks Bros podcast. I'm Drew, and I'm joined today by Mario, who is a good friend of mine, and he's joining us on the Discord right now, so we're talking with him. What's up, Mario?
What's up?
But yeah, we're finally getting
Oh,
people into the chat, it looks like. Sweet. Hey, look, it's Mike!
speak of the devil, yeah.
Mike, are
Mike, are
you at
you at
Knott's?
Knott's? Speak of the devil, yeah.
Mike, are
Mike,
you
are
at
you at
Knott's?
Knott's?
Oh my gosh, no, I gotta mute the YouTube video. Stop, please. Ah, okay, I'm good.
Dude, I was way ahead of you. I muted the YouTube video before the stream even started.
Well, I just loaded it up, so.
What are you drinking? A beer, dude? You're
No,
not 21.
it's cream soda.
Yeah, it's better anyway. Stick with that.
It's my fun glass that my grandma may or may have not stolen from a German restaurant. Uh, yeah, that was fun.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, true.
So,
But today we wanted to talk about a couple things. I really want to talk about Steel Curtain with somebody because apparently I'm getting a lot of things wrong. At least the comments think so. Um,
okay, yeah. So here's the thing. People are talking like I made an Instagram post on my story talking about how I think it's just going to be essentially a Vacoma,
yeah,
um, because they're under the same parent company, and everyone's like, no, they're operating as two individual companies, but that doesn't mean they can't work together,
yeah.
you know, because the S&S Freeze Flies, those are just RMC track, so I don't know, the two companies can work together and essentially make a ride that is pretty much of a coma, just built by S&S. I don't see why that's a far-fetched idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because a lot of people are just so dead set that, oh, it's this company and it's this company. Like, people still debate about CCI and GCI for Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then I honestly kind of count the free spins as an RMC because they made, a bulk. I mean, they make the track and the chain and the lift system and everything like that, but they don't make the trains and they don't make the computer system. But that's like a 50-50 thing at that point. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, also if you look at the concept art, obviously it's just concept art, and the trains looked the same as the new Vacomas in the concept art.
yeah.
So,
I don't know. Those trains actually they look kind of weird in that one piece of concept art, but I don't know.
well, yeah, that is true too. I think some of the pictures in the concept art are different than others. I mean, one of the pictures, the track even looks like Intimate Track, honestly, but for the most part, it looks the same as like the field.
Yeah.
But regardless, it looks like it's a fantastic layout. So I mean, that's why I hope it's made by Vacoma, honestly, because I've heard nothing but good things about the new Vacomas. So it'd be great if it is Vacoma track and if it's a SNS track. I think it could honestly suck really, really.
Yeah. Very true. I think if it actually was taken from Vacoma, which it looks like it was, it could work and be, a great ride. But just if it's actually manufactured by SNS, we know with Gale Force that they can't make the best of track, and or they don't make the best of track. Whether they can or not is up to them, really. But
Well, I mean, yeah. And then Merlin's Mayhem, which is like a kiddie coaster that opens a year late. That's kind of insane.
yeah, and I don't think anyone was expecting SNS because of those two major issues with those last two coasters. So, hey Zach, what's up?
Well, also, at least they may have learned from their recent mistakes. And I mean, they did fix Gale Force.
True.
So if it does have any, if Steel Curtain does have any issues, hopefully they'll um, fix it.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I don't know. It looks insane for what it is.
Yeah, no, the elements look fantastic. I mean, like, if that were an RMC, nobody would be saying, "Oh, it's like the meme coaster of 2019." Like, no
Yeah.
one would be hating on it at all if it was an RMC. It's just the fact that it's an SNS.
Yeah. That's the only problem that people are having with it right now, because they're just worried about it being rough or not
Yeah,
as good as
which
it
is
should be.
again understandable. So,
Yeah.
and it looks funky. But like RMCs look funky, so that's what I'm saying. If it was an RMC, people would be like, "Whoa, that looks so insane." Could be the
Yeah.
new number one.
Well, that first drop is crazy. The corkscrew into the like almost wing over drop type or dive loop, or I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, it's really funky because like it it's not even just like a it's not even just like a wing over drop where it's just the half of the twist into like half of the loop. There's a turn in there too, so I mean,
Yeah, true.
hopefully it's not like uncomfortable. I know there's a transition similar on like a loco at the Adventure Dome where it's turning while it's upside down, and that kind of hurts.
Okay.
So that's another concern for it being an SNS.
Yeah.
But if it's done well, it could be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I definitely think it could be. I don't know. Do you think top 5 in the U.S. at least?
I think it has the potential to be there, definitely. Especially if you're someone that's into inversions. I know we haven't really gotten a good coaster that's focused on inversions lately.
True.
I mean, with the exception of some of the B&Ms.
Except I think the last one was
if you love
Banshee,
inversions, is going to have more than any other in the country. So there's that.
which I find kind of mind-boggling. We haven't had any coaster go over what 7 inversions in the U.S. for 15 years.
Yeah, when it said it was setting the inversion, I mean, yeah, when it said it was setting the record for inversions, I was kind of surprised. I was like, is 9 really the record?
Yeah.
Is it really that easy to beat? I didn't realize that 7 was still the mark to beat.
I find that crazy that it's still that. Because
I mean, Viper.
Yeah, Viper has 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, Viper has 7 inversions, and that's old as heck. I mean, I think it's 20 years now, so
almost 30. So that record's actually been set for about 30 years then.
Yeah. So, what up, Zach?
That's just wrong. And the UK beat us out on it, what? 2014, 13, whenever Smiler opened?
Yeah.
And that, doubled it. So.
Well, what's good is, yeah, can't talk. Steel Curtain's name does suck, but, what's insane about it is that for a coaster that breaks an inversion record, it has insane airtime. I know it only has like a couple moments, but it's the same as Maverick only having a few moments of airtime.
And yet it's considered a great airtime coaster.
High speed ejector.
It's just, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be great for hang time, great for airtime, great for laterals, great for everything.
It's going to have more hang time than hang time.
Oh, yeah, easily. On the first drop, like...
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic choice for a drop, honestly. Like I said, if it does play out well.
Yeah.
Because it's so unique. I mean, how many coasters have we seen that just, go vertical or beyond vertical? I mean, you do have the barrel roll drops. I forget exactly what they're called on the RMCs, but...
Yeah. But
I think this will be... It definitely has potential to be better. It's definitely twice as tall as the RMC inverting drops, so...
Yeah, and the only thing that had like a corkscrew... yeah, exactly. Drakenfire was the only ride
right.
to have something like that. And that's that on steroids. So...
Yeah, and also not manufactured by old Aero.
True. True.
even if SNS messes it up, I don't think they can make it worse than Dropping Fire. So
No,
there's
I don't
that
think
at
so.
least.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Brian because Brian's gonna be the first rider. Do you remember Brian from that day you were at the commercial?
Yeah, the dude who said he could get me on Timberline Twister if he
Yeah.
was working it.
He's gonna be the first rider on
Did he
Steel
guess?
Curtain.
Did he guess all the stats right?
He was the first person to guess it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so lucky, dude. I should have done more of that, honestly. I feel like if you're an enthusiast and you entered every single day that you could have, you have like a 25% chance of getting it.
Yeah.
But I slacked and only entered one. Plus, I'm not gonna make it out to Kennywood anytime soon.
True. Now, if they were like paying for flight and hotel, I would have totally tried for it. But if they were just gonna be
Well,
like,
that's the thing. It was open to everyone in the U.S. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
people near Pittsburgh. It was open to everybody.
so if you take that, what if you're living in Alaska and you win? You
Right.
know, like what if you can't make it? Are they gonna have another person be brought up to have the chance to go ride
No.
it? But
No, probably.
yeah, so they wouldn't even
I
have a
don't know.
full
Maybe
train.
maybe they have a few people.
Well, apparently there's a couple trains full for the first day, so we'll see. Somebody said they were like on the third train of the day or something. So,
Okay.
but Brian's gonna be front row, first train.
So he was the first person to get it right then. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he got it right like on the second or third day. I'm not entirely sure. He'll probably watch this back later and tell me, but
Well, that's pretty. What was I gonna say? That's pretty. I think even though the stats were like somewhat easy to guess, I think a lot of people got a lot of the stats right. I still don't
Yeah.
think anyone was expecting the coaster to be what it was, regardless of manufacturer. I don't think anyone would have even expected it to be an RMC that looked like.
well, I think a lot of people put like 9 as the $1 million or one of the numbers as $1 million. They haven't even disclosed the amount they paid for this yet, at least that I know of.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's really cheap because what like coaster was 5 million, which
Yeah.
is like mind-boggling.
And just double that, really. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 11 or 12 at most.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it could be 9, honestly.
yeah, it could be.
Because if it's just like twice as expensive as the coaster, then that's really
Well, it's
cheap.
about twice as tall, maybe even
But,
a little.
like we discussed earlier, it's not necessarily a Vacombe.
Yeah. But I don't know. What do you call this? I know a lot of people are calling it a mega coaster, and a lot of people are up in arms about it being called a hyper coaster. So
Um, as far as I'm concerned, it's a hyper. It has I mean, well, I guess because the drop, but it's still over 200 feet, and the drop is nearly 200. And
It's
I
like
consider
Magnum.
a
Yeah.
hyper coaster. I don't think the drop is 200 feet, so that's my.
yeah, I think it's 197 for the drop, right?
Yeah.
I think
So it's
yeah.
like 3 feet short.
Which
I
Magnum's
consider it a hyper coaster.
what 6-7 feet short, and we still call that a hyper.
Yeah, so, hyper in my book.
It's almost like hyper is becoming synonymous with floater airtime coaster that's over 200 feet. And
What
that's
is that?
it. So, but I mean, like, Giga is everything. Like, a Giga could be, well, anything over 300 feet to 400 feet. And it could be twisting, lots of airtime, all of it. But then a Strata
Yeah.
has to be a launch coaster that goes up and down. Like, I just don't get it.
Well,
So,
to me, when it comes to like classifying rides, I mean, as long as it's a good ride, I don't care what you call it. So,
yeah.
that's my take on that, I guess.
Let's see. Okay, so here's the stats. 4,000 feet long. I don't think it's exactly 4,000, but we'll see. 220 feet tall, 75 miles an hour, 9 inversions, 2-minute duration. It has a chain lift, a corkscrew, a dive drop. Is that what they're calling it? Yeah, I guess they're just calling it a dive drop. That's weird. Cobra roll, but it's a banana roll, so...
Yeah, that's a banana roll. I don't know why they're calling it a Cobra roll.
I thought it was Cobra at first, but... It's definitely banana.
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't even like fully level out, I guess, at the midsection of the Cobra roll.
Yeah. First looking at it, I was like, oh, that's definitely a Cobra roll, but that's only because I saw it from the chain lift view. But then looking at it from every other view, it's like, yeah, that's not a Cobra roll. So. But then afterwards it says roll over. Okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking that was like a sea serpent roll, but I guess a rollover is what's on the Vekoma SLCs. That kind of makes sense. It's designed almost exactly the same.
True, which would be another nod to Vekoma.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? Especially since they called it the same thing. Maybe it is just confirmed Vekoma under the name of an SNS.
So it says inversions 2, so it counts as 2 inversions, and it's on 50 coasters. I'm going to look at what coasters they put down in RCDB. And I do not... Ooh, Kong. Mind Eraser. Flight Deck. So it's all the SLCs.
Yeah,
so that's definitely a Vekoma thing. Boom.
Yeah.
And then after that, 0G stall, which is a nod to RMCs at this point. And then another corkscrew and a cutback, which is something we haven't really seen until very recently. So
it's an Alan Shoki designed Vekoma by SNS. That is my theory based on this evidence.
And you actually are probably right on that. So
I think a lot of people are thinking it was designed by Alan, which is kind of interesting, but I mean...
Well, who else has done a stall?
Nobody. And it's not outside the realm of possibility.
No, because he has a great relationship with SNS still.
Yeah, exactly.
He just wanted to move on to crazier things, I guess. But...
Yeah.
Now that Vekoma can actually... Or that SNS can actually do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like... Vekoma's also doing some pretty funky inversions on their own, and like the drop on the coaster.
Yeah.
A beyond vertical twisting drop. That's pretty awesome. So I mean, I guess I could also see it being just designed by Vekoma without Alan Shoki. So I don't know.
They could even.
No one really knows.
They can call him up every once in a while and be like, "Hey, what do you think we should do for the first drop? That's insane." It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, let's do beyond vertical and twisting. Ooh. Like, let's do a warped corkscrew and then make it a dive loop afterwards. Okay.
Well, you saying warped corkscrew, that kind of like made me think of the fact that there's really not any obscure names for elements on this coaster. So I'm actually kind of disappointed, if I'm being completely...
Yeah, I think they could have named something, or the first like drop and the first 2 inversions. They could have named that something different than corkscrew and dive roll, or what was it? Dive roll? I can't remember. CDB. I think it was dive roll.
Yeah, they could have definitely gone with something funkier. Dive roll sounds relatively normal on.
Or dive drop. Sorry, not dive roll. Like, even wing over drop is kind of cool, I guess. It makes sense, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really work for anything other than a wing coaster.
No. Definitely not. Otherwise, it's just kind of an extended dive loop, really. So.
Yeah.
Because imagine a floorless doing that. That hurt.
A floorless doing that would be insane.
Well, it kind of be like Hydra at Dorney, I guess.
Oh,
Because, well,
yeah, you're right.
it wouldn't stop inverting. It'd just
Right.
keep going. Apparently
I
that's the
want to
best
go
part
to
of the ride.
Barney just for Hydra, just for that one inversion. That's how good.
And I want to ride their Morgan Hyper, because I haven't been on a Morgan Hyper, so...
That's true.
Actually, Talon. I want to go for Talon.
Yeah, Talon looks like a really good invert.
It looks like Silver Bullet 2.0.
Yeah.
Which,
If it were faster,
yeah.
or
And
I guess more fast.
I don't know. Would you consider Talon better than Silver Bullet? Looking at POVs and stuff?
Yeah, probably. Just because, like I said, the pacing is just the slightest bit better. But I think Silver Bullet's really good. I think Silver Bullet's better than most people who frequent knots and have ridden it a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic ride, honestly.
Am I drinking beer? No, I am not drinking beer. I'm drinking cream soda, and what the OVC is correct. Go on, Mario. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Trains?
You know,
Roller
it's
coasters? What?
learning for me, so.
True. I don't know. I'm looking at pictures of Talon right now, and I really love that color scheme. The yellow's a little... I don't know. It
Well,
just
in a lot of
reminds
the
me...
Pictures, it's like freshly painted, so.
True. An invert that hasn't been talked about a lot is Goliath at Fiesta, Texas. Man, with that new repaint this year, it looks so good. At least in person. It's really bright, though. Oh, what was that? Oh, is it? I don't know. Can you hear me now? Is that better? I don't know if it is or not. Okay, I can't hear you now. Great. Thanks, Discord.
Oh, no, I'm still on.
Okay.
I'm just not talking.
I wasn't sure it showed you picking up, and I didn't hear anything, so.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Behemoth does look good, I would say. Well, no, I wasn't saying
One
that...
of the comments earlier was talking about wanting to get on Green Lantern.
I don't want to get on Green Lantern, please no. Do you like Green Lantern?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just can't.
No, you're
I can't
fine.
hear you on the disc.
You're totally fine, dude. Do you like Green Lantern, though?
I think Green Lantern is fine. I think it's slightly uncomfortable just on the legs. Like when you hit the brake run, it really pushes the restraints down into your legs and makes it look like a cased sausage because it just like squeezes your fat and your muscles. But I really like the drops. I mean, they're really intense, so I actually enjoy it, believe it or not.
Fair enough. I can get why you like it. For me, it was
Yeah, I mean,
painful.
It's intense, like so. It's just uncomfortable. Green Lantern needs to be SBNO, honestly.
Yeah. I don't get why it's not listed as that now, because it's almost been a year.
So I posted on my story asking or saying that it should be listed as standing but not operating, and somebody told me that they'll only list it as standing but not operating if the park doesn't have it on their map. And Green Lantern's still on the map, so.
Well, like, Castle Park has 3 SB&O coasters, and they're still on the map.
Are they?
I think so. Let me look up a Castle Park map. Then again, I've never been. I've only seen maps from, like, last year and the year before and stuff, so. What year is that? Uh,
Interesting. Because the coaster that is standing but not operating at Castle Park has been standing but not operating for, I want to say, close to 5 or 6 years.
yeah.
But I think it's also not listed on the website, so that could have something to.
That's 2009. I can't tell what year that is because they don't put a year on it. That's 2005. 2012. It is there in 2012. That's not the right park. That's not the right park. Apparently there's a castle park in Japan. So that's fun.
Oh, see, that's where the confusion comes in.
But it's not like an actual like coaster park or anything. It's just an actual like park. So Palace Entertainment. Wow, okay. I didn't know Castle Park was part of a conglomerate like that. Apparently it's in the same company as Dutch Wonderland. And the Wet and Wilds and the Raging Waters. Huh. That's something I did not know. Palace Entertainment. Huh. Did you know that? Oh, hi computer. Stop. Stop. Okay. But did you know that?
I did not.
That's weird.
If only it were part of like Cedar Fair, then I'd have already been there by.
Kennywood's listed on this. And so is Lake Compounds.
Really?
Really?
Huh. There's
What?
probably not like. There's no way there's like a ticket like like Six Flags or Cedar Fair Platinum Pass that get you into all though because they're such small parks that they can't really
Yeah.
afford it.
Well, I think there's a combo pass for like Dutch Wonderland and Kennywood. I'm not entirely sure, but that's it.
Oh, okay.
Nowhere
The
else.
life does not suck. Okay.
My computer's going crazy. That voice crack?
Discord and doing a live stream at the same time is probably not the best.
That's fine. It's not actually the Discord that's doing it. It's just my computer trying to restart programs that I don't want it starting in the first place.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, Windows, gotta love it. So, no problem with liking New Texas Giant more than Iron Rattler. I haven't been on it, so I can't tell you. So,
That's understandable. It's a longer ride. I mean,
yeah, more airtime.
if you're one of those people that really just hates short rides, I could understand not really loving Iron Rattler as much as some other people. So
Yeah, and I mean, well, there's like at least more than 2 airtime moments, maybe 3. Well, maybe 4 actually. I think there's 4.
right, and especially if you like floater more than ejector, I could see that making sense.
Yeah, because there's only like one hill on Iron Rattler that has floater.
Which part is that? Is that like going up the quarry?
Yeah, it's right after the first drop.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's where the camera is actually. It's kind of weird. But it's right under the corkscrew that they have, or not the corkscrew, like the 0G roll. So.
You know what surprised me is Steel Vengeance has not really that strong of airtime. Like as far as the intensity of the airtime moments. Obviously, it has incredible airtime in the sense that it has more airtime than any other coaster on the world, and you definitely notice that. But the strength of the airtime is not that fantastic.
I can believe that. That doesn't surprise me though. A lot of people are saying that Storm Chaser has like more intense airtime. So
Oh yeah, by far most intense airtime of any coaster I've been on. That's why I had it at my number one because I like ejector and you feel like your legs are about to rip off, and
oh
that
jeez.
sounds like a bit much, but honestly, it's fantastic.
Well, it makes you more on edge, I guess, and your adrenaline pumps a little more, which brings some excitement back into it. So
Yeah, totally. I mean, especially when you're an enthusiast, and even something like Twisted Colossus can start to feel. I don't want to say tame, but it's familiar. So
yeah,
so to get something that's really new, yes, I've been on Steel Vengeance. It's not well. It's a mixed bag, honestly. It's fantastic at night. If it ran like that at every point during the day, then it would be undoubtedly my number one coaster. But it runs very slow in the morning, so a lot of the airtime is floater in the morning, which kind of sucks.
yeah, I had the same experience with Iron Rattler. I mean, we've talked about this, where Iron Rattler, the first ride I had
Yeah,
was in the morning, and it wasn't as great as I would have liked it to be. And then at night, like, well, actually, it wasn't even night. It was like 3 or 4. It was 10 times better. Blew me out of the water.
yeah, definitely.
So
I guess Twisted Colossus is the same way. It's just not as large scale as
true.
those two coasters, so it's not really as noticeable.
Well, I mean, Steve goes what 80 or no 75?
No, I think it goes like 70, 75, yeah. Because the airtime hill broke the record for fastest airtime hill at 74 miles per hour. Stat that everyone cares about.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Um, can I just go to RCDB? Oh, there it is. Okay. It goes 74. Okay. Stop, computer, please. And now I'm gonna look up Iron Rattler. And that goes. Oh, it doesn't even show up. Oh, I
It's
typed it.
probably a pretty similar top speed, I would think, honestly.
70. So, I mean, these larger
Yeah,
scales must be just, you know, taking forever to warm up. Is my only thought. Because this has a 170-foot
yeah.
drop. So,
That's kind of a bummer, honestly, because it's like, the bigger you go, the slower it's going to go relative to how fast it's going to go later in the day. But,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, like, it's still a fantastic coaster, even when it's going slow. Like, I was questioning whether or not it was my number one when it was running at its worst. So, still a fantastic ride.
Yeah. Well, I was questioning that after my first ride on Iron Rattler too. So,
Right.
like, I hit the
Well,
brake
actually,
run and
Storm Chaser, I guess, was even the same way.
yeah.
You didn't get any rides towards the front of Iron Rattler, did you?
No, we didn't. I need to go back. Oh,
Was that actually?
I'm trying to go back in October. So we'll see.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to go to over Texas or back to Kings Island in October, actually. So.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I could take a flight from like Austin to Dallas real quick or something. Join you at over Texas if you want to go out there.
Man, you gotta get on the Greyhound, man. Save that money.
How much is a Greyhound for?
It's pretty cheap, honestly. I think I checked in, it's like $20, but it takes you like 6 hours to do like a 3 hour drive because of all the stops you have.
Well, it's not. It's gonna be like a 7 to 8 hour drive.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 hours 42 minutes. I might.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if I don't go this October, I'm just gonna do like a Texas trip, rent a car out there. And
Wait, I don't
I
see.
keep cutting you off, man.
Oh no,
I'm
dude,
so
you're
sorry.
fine. I do the same thing to you.
The
It's all
slides,
good.
the mic sensitivity is just like not picking it up, so like I'll miss like the first word you say and then end up cutting you off.
Less than $20.
Wow, that reaction, dude.
Dude, what? Sorry. That's insane.
Yeah, it's worth the extra 3 hours, right?
Well, yeah, then spending $150 for a plane flight.
Right. Wow. Um, Mindswept is saying he did not like Maverick. That is insane to me. I couldn't see an enthusiast not enjoying that ride, or even the general public. Everyone loves that thing.
Well, I know some of the GP don't like it.
Well, the GP really don't like it. Is that what you said, or you think they do?
There are some that I've heard that don't like it, so.
That's understandable. It's really intense, but like I went with a group of non-enthusiasts, and every single one of them, that was one of their favorite coasters, if not their favorite coaster at the park. So.
Wow. Sorry, I'm still looking at Greyhound right now. So a fare is less than $20 from San Antonio to Dallas. Okay, we might have to do this. That's pretty
The one
great.
the
Holy
one
cow.
bad thing is you can't stop at CDTs.
Well, I could do that anyways. I'd be in San Antonio for like 2 or 3 days, so
Oh, okay, that's perfect.
$12 in October. 12 freaking dollars.
That's
How
crazy.
funny. All right, well, I know what I'm doing. But, and yes, this is a tall glass. I'm sorry. It's just, it's made for beer, but I don't have any beer. So, and I like cream soda. A lot. Like I had 2 glasses yesterday, so. But dang, we could actually do that. Anyways, I'll talk about something else now. We were talking about Vengeance a little bit earlier. I want to talk about the lockers, because there's the locker situation that's going on with Cedar Point right now, where you have to get a locker or someone to hold even your phone while you go and wait in line and get on Steel Vengeance. So I don't know. Oh, Mario left. Is he back? Mario, you here?
I'm back.
All right.
I don't know what I did. I quit by accident.
But what do you think of the locker policy at Cedar Point?
Okay, so first and foremost, I think it's just Cedar Point being very reactionary, and understandably so, because they don't want to have to deal with that liability. And I think realistically, coaster enthusiasts don't want them to have to deal with that liability, because a lawsuit means fewer rides, potential park closure, depending on the severity of it. So, I think everyone wants there to be a solution that results in better ride safety, but I think at the same time, everybody also recognizes that the current solution is definitely not the best one.
Yeah. I'd agree. I think there are other things that they could have done better. Just considering how everything is today. Everyone has a phone, or at least, a good, at least 85% of people that are going to a park are going to have a phone or something on them at all. I mean, you have to have your pass to get into a park, or your ticket or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, forget about phone. I mean, you have your keys. Those aren't going to
Yeah.
feel much better than a phone hitting you in the face at 70 miles per hour.
Exactly. And actually, those could probably even do more damage, because it's just a metal spike, going 70 miles an hour, just go right through your hand or whatever. So, but like,
I do think, and I don't think that this is definitely not the popular opinion, but I know a lot of people do agree that it was probably the best decision they could have made at the time,
At the time, yeah.
because it's not really easy for them to just implement a new system, out of thin air.
Yeah, and I just hope they change it within, the next couple of weeks at least, to try and, I mean, Steve could honestly benefit from just having bins in the station. Now, I know the problem with having bins is that people will still have things with them in line, and there is the possibility that they'll try and take it on the ride.
Well, yeah, okay. So Becca actually messaged me about this yesterday and today, and she was saying that the issue is people not listening. And she said that they have rovers going around the line now,
Yeah,
and if they see anyone with their phone out, it's a lot easier to catch them. It's a lot harder for people to sneak their stuff through. If they have their stuff till last minute, it's a lot harder to catch them.
true.
That's the point that she made, and she also made the point, and she was very uh, strong with this argument that people just do not listen. She was saying, people don't listen when they say to not put your lap bars down. So why would they listen and put their stuff in a bin or take their stuff out of their pockets and put it in a pouch or something like that? So I guess I see that argument.
Yeah,
But making people pay for a locker when they already don't have a bag to save the money is kind of ridiculous.
true. Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was reading on Reddit about an hour ago of a story of some guy that brought his phone on Steel Vengeance regardless. Yesterday. This was last night. He brought his phone on Steel Vengeance because he whenever he saw someone roving and looking for a phone, he just had it in his pocket where they couldn't see it. And they didn't catch him at
Right.
all. And he
And
also
I think,
brought a small water bottle that fit in his pocket too, and they didn't complain about that. And he drank it in the station with people
okay,
looking at him.
that's like a fantastic point because when I went, somebody put a souvenir bottle in their pocket, which like, hey, I'm not even gonna hate on them for that. It was secure and they didn't want to pay for the locker after they already paid
True.
for their souvenir bottle, but it's not like they can stop it by telling people not to bring it in the line. Um, I think what would really help about having a pouch or a bin is that it would incentivize people to keep their personal belongings safe.
Yeah.
Because they're going to disregard riders' safety, but people are selfish and they care a lot more about their personal belongings. So they're going to want to keep them safe. And if the park provides an easy, free way to do so, I think guests will take advantage of it. As opposed to kind of just like shunning people for using something that they're pretty much programmed to use on a hourly, if not, you know, every second basis.
Yeah.
And I do understand the argument that it's like, well, people can be off their phone for a little bit, but I think where you run into issues is if you have groups of people at the park, because people like to separate and do their own thing, so it's really hard to coordinate with your group if you don't have any form of communication for an hour or longer, and not to mention enthusiasts being there by themselves and just being bored.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of people were saying in the Reddit post that a lot of the times they'll have business calls, because their business calls for it. And what if they're in the middle of a 3 hour long line for Steve and they don't have their phone, and it's like an
You know
important
what?
business call, or like
That's a great point too, because when I was at Cedar Point, I did get messages and such
yep,
from work, so that's another legitimate concern. I mean, it's most people's business line as well as their personal, so
yeah.
it's an issue there as well.
And there was some guy that said that his wife was pregnant, so he needed to know at a moment's notice if she was going into labor. And I'm like, dude, how close do you live to Cedar Point? Because it's going to take you at least an hour to get out of the park and to the car. And then, let alone
Yeah,
how far he has to
that
drive.
that seems like quite a BS excuse to try
Yeah,
and get your phone in line. They could have come up with a better story than that. It's a bit
true.
excessive.
I mean, you could have just said, "Oh yeah, I have a business call that could come at any time." I mean, heck, my dad
Right.
has to answer business calls all day long at random points in the day if something goes wrong.
Right.
So
I think that's also like in modern times, that's a big part of how people are able to actually take time off work is if they're doing it, if they are taking care of business while they're on vacation.
exactly.
It's more than just an issue of people being, too attached to their phone and like too connected to social media. It's not a matter of, oh, you can't be without it for, a couple hours. What does that say about society? It's some people actually do need it
Yeah.
for their living or um, you know other very important things. Someone asked why they can't just put ride bins back on the station. Um, Efficiency. I mean, that's it.
You could argue efficiency. Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
I don't
Betsy was
think.
saying that they tried doing it with like baskets. Um, that they would just have you put your stuff in, and then the write-offs would put it on the other side.
Okay.
But
Like what
even
they did
that
with
wasn't
Wonder
efficient
Woman.
enough. Yeah, like Wonder Woman. But she said that that even wasn't efficient enough, which is kind of sad because I would have thought that that would be a great solution.
That
But
should have
it
been okay.
does give me some hope because it does show that the park is trying to find a better option
True.
because they know that it's not ideal. I mean, it's bad for them too because it makes them look bad. I mean, at least the enthusiasts understand that it's because of safety, but GP is just going to think that it's a money grab, because that's what it
True.
looks like.
And
And apparently Cedar Point doesn't even make money off of the lockers. It's just a locker company. So
yeah, I can believe that. But I don't know. I Another thing is that they have the app, the Battle for CP app, that you're supposed to use in line. What is the point of that app
right,
for, it's going to be multiple of the rides now? Because, if they're going to implement it on Steel Vengeance, they're probably going to do it on Maverick, and they're probably going to do it on probably Millennium Force, and probably.
well, I don't know if they do it on Millennium Force. I mean, you could keep your phone on your lap on that thing and it wouldn't go anywhere.
Really?
Just saying.
Okay. Well, maybe like Wicked Twister or Dragster. Yeah, Dragster's a good example. So,
Well, yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of hope they change it to where it's not a PR disaster for them because it's already pretty much turning into that right now.
Well,
Um,
yeah. So I mean that's a bit of a good thing for enthusiasts. Honestly, is that they really want to save face. So they're as eager to find a better solution to it as everyone else.
yeah. Which I think Rob Decker is doing his best job to try and figure out. Um, but it's a difficult issue for most parks right now. I mean, you could go the universal route with free lockers using your fingerprint, which is good, but you could also go the universal route of having a metal detector at the front of the ride. You could have the
Well, yeah.
Six Flags route of uh, buying a locker for $1 at X2, or just leaving it on the station platform at Twisted Colossus.
Yeah, I think there are. I think it's hard because most people are used to putting their bags away, but everyone's used to keeping their, you know, immediate personal belongings on them, like their wallet and their phone and whatnot.
Yeah,
So it's definitely it's a new issue. Um, I think that's part of what some of the difficulty is it's not something that has really come up before. It's about small personal items which normally you're allowed to bring on, because at the front entrance all they would tell you, is if you have any bags, make sure to put them in a locker. If you have anything
Yep.
that can't fit in your pocket, put it in a locker. But now that the issue is things that fit in your pocket, um, they don't really know what to do.
yep. Yeah, well, it's. I honestly think that kind of led to Dragon Challenge's demise in a little way, because the wait times, because people didn't want to go through the metal detectors to get on it, in the middle of summer were 15 minutes at max,
Yeah.
which for a world class dueling coasters that were both made by B&M, and it's a 15-minute wait on the busiest day of one of the busiest parks in the world.
Right.
And that wasn't just because the ops were so good. It's just because no one was riding it because they didn't want to go through the metal detectors.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point because it's their brand new coaster. It's a coaster that is supposed to and has been drawing in massive crowds.
Yeah.
Um, so to have something that's really going to take away from that could definitely negatively affect them. And I mean, you look at it just as at Cedar Fair as a company that's really not doing as well as Six Flags as it is. The last thing they need is bad PR.
Yeah. Most definitely. I mean, actually, I kind of want to look at the stocks right now.
Not good, I'll tell you.
Stock for 6. I'm just glad they made it easy. Cedar Fair kind of made it a little hard with calling it fun, but Six Flags is 6.
Yeah.
So, but okay, Six Flags right now is 67.64 per share, and Cedar Fair is 59.00 per share.
Yeah. I mean, Cedar Fair has gone down like almost 8% in the past month. That's really not good. I mean, usually this is the time of year that their stock goes up. So,
yeah, I mean, it's
really not good for them.
Dropped almost a full point in the last day about. So, it's lost since 310 today, 0.35 already. So, where Six Flags looks to be on the rise again, so that's a good sign for them.
Yeah, Six Flags has been doing better for the entirety of this year. I think, I don't know, perhaps in correlation with opening Magic Mountain 365, because it kind of started going up since then. But
True.
I don't know.
It's a possibility. I feel like they've kind of lost money on that, though, because a lot of the days are so empty that there shouldn't be, you know...
Well, yeah, but the thing you have to consider is the stock, the value doesn't have to do with how much money... It doesn't always have to do with how much
Oh,
money.
yeah, I know.
Because they definitely probably lost money some of those days.
Yeah. Even if they're running, half the rides, if they're only bringing in 150 people, 200 people in the day.
Right.
So, they're probably going to be pass holders, so they don't pay to get in. And then they probably already have, like, a drink cup or something, so...
Right. And, the funny thing was, like, the first few weeks of 365-day operation, they were the absolute best times to have ever gone to Magic Mountain because they were actually running 2 trains. I think they anticipated a lot higher crowds. They were running 2 trains on everything that did not need it. And then so come, like, May and, like, early and even late spring, they start running 1 trains. Even when it's busier, they finally caught on to the fact that they can't be running 2 trains when, there's only, like you said, 200 people in the park. So, yeah, they definitely lost money.
Yeah. And what I mean by they don't pay to get in is that they're not paying nearly as much as just a regular, once a year guy would pay. I mean, what's the price for a Magic Mountain ticket right now?
A single day is, I think, close to $80.
Yeah, whereas you could pay $20 for a month and go every day during the month and only pay $20. So, I mean, I'd take the $20 over, paying $70 every day. But I don't know. I still don't think a Diamond Elite is worth it. What happened? What happened to Discord? Am I still there? Okay, yes I am. What? Why are you doing this? It made 2 Google pages for me all of a sudden. Can you still hear me, Mario? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Not on the Discord, though.
Not on the Discord?
I heard your YouTube video about that.
Shoot.
But it's alright.
Alright. Let me try something real quick. Can you hear me on the Discord now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Alright. And yes, we already did talk about Steel Curtain. Sorry. We were talking about that at the beginning of the stream. But I don't know. Those lockers are really something that's gonna bother me. I think for a little bit. And I know there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, just talk to people in line." But what if you're going alone? I know a lot of people that go to parks alone.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk to GP while I'm waiting in line.
True. And I mean, most people don't want to talk to random people anyways that they don't know.
Right.
So that's where that argument's kind of sad if you're just going alone. Now, if you're going with like one or two people, yeah, you could talk to them. But if you're in line for 3 hours, it's gonna be hard to find stuff to talk about.
Right, I agree.
So, oh, Michael's back. What's up, Mike? But he's always gonna be back. You sure you're not at Knott's right now? No, I'm kidding. Um, wow, my voice is dying. Maybe I should drink some more cream soda, hey? Somebody asked me cream soda or sarsaparilla. I'm a sucker for cream soda, I'll be honest. Sarsaparilla good, but cream soda's probably my favorite. So. Oh, you've been here the whole time? Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you staying with us.
What do you guys think about the locker situation?
Yeah, let us know in the chat. What do you guys think of the lockers? Because we're kind of at a loss for words.
I don't know if I said it on here yet, but I think the best solution is just to put pouches. I know you didn't see them on Twisted Colossus. They're only on a few seats, but they're just connected to the ride, similar to Disneyland, but they have zipper pouches, and they're relatively small, so people still have to put their bags in a locker. So
Yeah,
the park or the locker company, whoever's making money from the lockers, is still going to make their money, and people will be incentivized to keep their stuff safe.
true.
I think the only issue is people who are going to specifically break the rules, but I mean, there's no foolproof method.
Yeah, I don't think we even talked about those pouches. I think the pouches are probably the best solution. Just having like
Because
a
people,
little pouch that you could zip open and close. I know that's a problem though if you can zip it closed and then open it up in the middle of the ride. So I could see why they're not
but at the same
doing
time, the
that.
phone could come out of your pocket in the middle of the ride.
Exactly. So, but I know they want to prevent that completely because of that one person that had, half their head have a scar now because of their phone on Twisted Timbers. I don't know if you've seen that picture, but the lady has a scar like twice as big as Harry Potter's right here from a phone.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
about that. That's unfortunate. And that's why, like, I'm giving the park some leeway, because it's like they obviously have to do something about that.
yeah, most definitely. So, but I don't know. I think I was thinking of some crazy way to, not have them be able to open the zipper in the middle of the ride with like a mechanism and something, but they're not going to redo the trains for that. That would be like picture perfect scenario, but also that scenario people would actually listen and follow the rules.
Right.
So
But
somebody
okay, so
said that.
also,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, me? Okay, I'll go. Um, Becca was saying that people weren't listening in the first place when they were telling people to put stuff in their cargo pants. And if you don't have cargo pants or zippers, you have to put it in a locker. But
Yeah,
here's the thing. I mean, when I went, nobody told me anything about phone, wallet, keys, or anything not being allowed on the ride. The only thing I was told at the entrance was to put my bag in a locker. So, I mean, you can't really truly say that people aren't listening when they're not always being told. Plus, it's still completely different. I mean, having your phone through the entirety of the line and then putting it away for 5 minutes versus, you know, 2 hours. I don't know.
yeah. I, did you even see any signs about it anywhere besides the front entrance?
No.
And that's a problem right there. You got to have it throughout the queue.
Also, another problem in like regards to people not listening is the op that is talking when you get to the station talks so constantly that it's understandable why people zone them out, because it's more than anything like any of the Six Flags parks I've been to. I mean, it's just constant talking, so people just zone them out.
That's fair.
I don't blame them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've even zoned out some stuff at like Disney before because they're always talking over and over again.
Right.
So I don't know. I think just even having a couple more signs in with throughout the queue, just saying you are not allowed to have loose articles on this ride, or you need zipper pockets or button pockets or something like that. Even if they put in a couple more signs like that, it could help the situation. I know there's going to be a couple people that are always going to be like, I want to film my ride on this. Eh, But I think it would
Right.
help those
Well,
people that lose it from their pocket in the middle of the ride.
right, because yeah, I mean, that's the issue they're trying to solve. The people who have their phone outs, they already take that very seriously, you know.
Yeah.
Um, they'll stop the ride to kick them off of it. But I think the other thing you can do is on those signs, emphasize the fact that you have a very strict policy against it, and then also, you know, they need to make their policies even stricter.
Yeah.
Um, in regards to the punishment, they need to at least say on the sign that they're going to kick you out of the park if you have it on the ride, or at
Yeah.
least out on the ride.
That makes sense. Plain and simple. Yeah. Because if they were more willing to do that, less people would try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because no one gets kicked out of the park for Twisted when they pull out. I've seen so many people pull out their phones on Twisted Colossus and they not do anything. They don't even stop the lift.
Right, it's ridiculous. They they don't say anything afterwards either. I mean, the most they'll do is I've seen is just make people delete the video off their phone.
Yeah.
They don't care about it from a safety perspective. They don't want people getting the footage for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, because then more people will try and do it. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube of like people taking GoPros on it. And I mean, there's even a
Right.
video where he's like, I passed out on Twisted Colossus, but it's just like a still photo of him going on the 0G roll. It's just, but he filmed the entire ride of himself, and I don't get what makes people want to pull out their phone on it. I get why they want to do it. They want to show that they're on this crazy ride and all that, but it's a crazy ride, and they're not thinking about what could possibly happen with it if they were to, oh, I don't know, slip the phone out of their hand, or I don't know. I just can't stand people that think it's okay. Unless you're at Disneyland or Universal, where none of the rides are going to be, that threatening, except for maybe Mummy is the only
Right.
thing. So, even Space Mountain, you could pull out your phone. You're not going to get any video unless you turn on the light, but that ruins the entire experience. So, I had someone do
said
that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, interrupting you again.
Dude, you're fine. I promise. You're fine.
Okay, so somebody said an electromagnet might work, but
That could wipe the
the
phone,
downtime
couldn't
of
it?
that is what they said. But also, not only the downtime, it's just the expense of adding that to the rides that are currently having issues.
True.
I guess if it's a really widespread big issue, manufacturers can start having those in the future. But like you said, downtime and you can't add it to older rides.
Yeah. Well, let me think about rides that you would try and put it on but couldn't. Montezuma, for sure. Probably not Excel. Excel, you couldn't really put it anywhere. Um,
But you could put the pouch on Excel.
you could put the pouch, yeah, definitely. I think so. Um, I don't know. I've been hit in the face by coins on Excel, so even just having loose
Yeah.
change in your pockets could be deadly on that. Well, maybe not deadly, but dangerous. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think if the rides just provide an easy way for you to keep your stuff safe, I don't think people will really be reluctant.
Yeah. Hi, Garrick, Mister Chemist slash Physics Professor. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. I just don't see it working on much, even if it works at all. Because I
B&M
have a
Hypers,
case
you
on
can
my
add it
phone.
to.
So what'd you say?
Oh, B&M Hypers, you couldn't add like anything to really, unfortunately, not pouches or any type of like box or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the nice thing about those is that they're usually going over nothing that people walk through, if that makes sense. So they're usually like out, kind of at the border of the park where no one's going to be walking underneath you. So if you drop your phone, it's not going to hit anybody.
Or they have nets.
Well, yeah, they have it where they need it, but I mean, look at Nitro.
Right.
That whole ride is out in the woods, and same with Diamondback for the most part, but the places
Yeah.
where they need covered are covered. And Mako goes out into the middle of nowhere pretty much, so, but
I think the issue is not so much the guests because they have nets for that. They've figured that out at least how to protect the
yeah.
people on the move. But it's rider safety that's the issue now.
Mike, don't say hang time needs nets, please. I don't want nets on it. That'd be bad.
Surprisingly, hang time hasn't had any incidents yet. I'm kind of shocked.
Well, I think it helps that they have the cover above most of the queue. So I've seen stuff on top of that cover, but nothing falling onto people. So
True. But I will say that like when we did that massive meetup, they there was a nickel that almost killed Mike.
true, I remember that. That was funny. Yeah, but I mean, it was funny, but really looking at it, it's not funny. So, um, like if it actually hit him, that would have been bad.
He has cushion though. He's good.
Well, true. um, but can I go to Universal Studios? I have a pass, and I've been. There are actually, I think I
Oh,
have
you have
four
a
videos
pass?
on it. Yeah, I have a pass. It was a Christmas deal, so
How much?
I think 110, something like that.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's like a day.
Yeah, it was pretty much buy a day, get the rest of the year. So it wasn't bad at all. But I've only been 3 times this year, so and I still have to pay for parking each time, which is $25
Oh crap! Yeah.
or 30 depending on the day. It's insane. So, um, I think every time we've gone, we've spent at least $40 to $50 though. So, but I don't know. I just got on Jurassic Park for the last time like a month ago, so I'm probably not gonna make it out in the next month. So, yeah. Unless Mike, you
How
want to
mu-
go with me, since you have parking apparently.
How much is that, Mike?
I'm guessing it's like one of the more expensive ones. Universal passes. Costco. I can buy them at Costco. Um,
Because like if it's only an extra $50 and like it saves you money for sure.
yeah, if it was an extra 50. Um, shoot. Where's annual pass? Save $20 with a Coke. But I got a cream soda. Um, I don't know what I have, to be honest. I could look. My only problem. Oh, I dropped my keys. My only problem with the Universal Pass is that it's complete paper. It is flimsy paper that can
Oh
get
yeah.
wet, and you need this every time you go. You can't put it on the app that I have been able to find, and it's complete paper. So if you ride Jurassic Park with this thing in your pocket, it can get soaked and you can't use it anymore.
Pouches.
Um,
Waterproof pouches. Pouches are the solution to everybody's problems.
Truth. But the nice thing about it, if it wasn't so destroyed, it has the dates where I can't go. So it's got all my blackout dates on the pass, which is awesome. But it's paper. So I mean, even the Six Flags pass isn't paper. It's still pretty flimsy,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna. If it gets wet, it's fine. So, and then you got your platinum pass and then your Disneyland pass, and those are pretty much the same. So
I lost my platinum pass, man. Thank God for the app.
you too, Garrick did on Silver Bullet a couple months back.
Yeah, so I mean, if it wasn't for the app, I wouldn't be able to get into knots without paying.
Well, you just have to pay like I think, or actually you could just um give them your phone number and your email address, and they can get you uh the number for your pass.
Oh, okay. To get a reprinted pass though, it's $15, which I feel like
It's a
if
little
you have a
much.
platinum pass, it should be cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they do it. It's to, discourage you losing it, but it's still like, 15, really? I think it's the same at Disney too for 15. But like Universal, I have no way of reprinting this pass. So I just hope they change
Yeah,
that in the future. So
I use Cargos too, but um, I lost it when I was just taking my stuff out. I mean, Zach saw too when we were at Knott's the other day. I just dropped my wallet and everything spilled out. So I'm just clumsy.
yeah, that happens. All right, so 1 day admission is $110 for
Yeah, that's
Universal.
ridiculous.
And then there's the annual passes, which you can pay $6 a month. That's cheaper than Six Flags.
Wow.
So it's 180 for the silver pass. Come any date for the first visit, and then blackout dates for every other day. Um, apparently, you can go for 250 days. So that's not too bad, but only 50 days that are weekends. So those are probably like January, February, and then maybe like the October and November time.
I think Universal is probably one of the biggest. No, sorry, I did this button, man. I'm telling you, I should have taped it down.
It's all good.
I think it's the biggest ripoff. At least if you born, yeah. There's no reason to go like more than a few times a year.
Yeah. The only part of that park that I want to visit more than once a year is Harry Potter. I like the Wizarding World. So,
Right.
I mean, everything else I wouldn't be bothered if it was once a year. Maybe Mummy, I guess, but besides that, everything else
Because
is
I
like a
definitely
once a
don't
year.
think it's definitely not worth the price of a day's admission. I mean, unless you're a tourist, I guess.
Which that whole park is filled with them at all times. So, okay, so with the Silver Pass, you could go in like half of July, but starting the 20th, which was a couple days ago, you can't go in till the 12th of August. And then like you can't go weekends the rest of the year pretty much.
Would you ever consider doing the year-long fast pass at Magic Mountain?
Not at Magic Mountain. Um, yeah, I don't see a point at Magic Mountain. Everyone always talks about how terrible that system is because you have to. Apparently, you can't ride much with it either. So, actually, I kind of want to look this up.
Really? I think they just recently expanded like what you're allowed to get on. I think you're allowed to get on everything at every.
Well, I know you had to pay like $200 for a day to get like Flash Pass for X2. So,
Well, originally, even with the platinum level or whatever the highest level is, you still had to pay for like $15 for one single use.
yeah. Let me see. I can't find it. They need a new website, honestly. Excuse me.
You have to go to like.
Found it. Flash Pass. It's very tiny.
Yeah.
So, if I was to get the regular Flash Pass for one day, which they don't even list the price anymore, um, I could only ride Twisted Colossus and X2 and Tatsu once throughout the day using the Flash Pass. Can you just show me how much it costs?
If there's any ride that should be single use, it should be Superman because of the capacity.
Oh, they changed their prices. Sweet. Okay, so the regular is 45, the gold is 75, and then the platinum is $120. So not nearly as bad as it used to be, but it's still pretty bad. My only problem with the regular is that reservation is equal to the current wait time.
Right.
You're pretty much paying $45 for the equivalent of a fast pass at Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly.
Which people are paying $10 for Max Pass, but it's only $10. So it's a better deal there for sure. But oh, and Full Throttle is only one time. That's weird.
That's understandable.
No, it is. It is. It's just like, I don't know, out of the coasters. No, actually, that makes sense.
But if you buy the Platinum Pass, you should get unlimited rides on everything, honestly. I mean,
True.
That is just such a...
Well, I think you do for Platinum, but not for regular.
Get the full use out of it.
I'm going to look at the Season Pass. The Season Pass is $400. Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it. Unless I can use it at other Six Flags parks.
You can't.
Can you? Enjoy the Flash Pass Gold level. They don't offer any other level.
Nope.
All year at Magic Mountain in bold. Limited quantities valid for Magic Mountain 2018 operating season. Must add your all season the Flash Pass to your 2018 season pass at the processing center. That was not a sentence. Requires ID, not transferable. Up to 5 extra guests can be added to your Flash Pass for an additional charge. And as available, 1-day platinum level upgrades are available. And it says valid only at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
You know what I think is hilarious? That they stress the fact that it's that they're limited, as if these are gonna sell out. Nobody's buying these.
Like, even as an enthusiast, I don't think it's worth it. So,
like, if I moved to somewhere that had a Six Flags park, and I only lived there for a year, I think I would do it. But other than that, I don't see any use for it.
Well, I think it depends on what Six Flags park, too. Because if it was America, nah, no thanks.
True.
Where would you want to use it? I'd probably use it at Fiesta if I was there for a year. But I'd probably get bored of Iron Rattler and Wonder Woman after that, but that's okay, I guess.
I'd use it at Great Adventure, without a doubt.
Yeah, my only problem is their locker program.
Right.
Oh, I can't believe they're stopping. The modem's gotten so hot from the heat wave and everything. It's been dropping every once in a while.
Oh, there we go.
Yay, we're back. Okay. Is Poltergeist fun? Yeah, it's okay. Could be better. Definitely, probably the most intense coaster I've been on, I'd say.
Really?
Really? Yeah. I've never gotten tunnel vision that bad
What row
before.
did you sit in?
10. So that might have done it.
Oh, okay.
So there's 12. There's 12 on them. On it.
I'm trying
And
to, because you said it was really uncomfortable. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think where I sat on Flight of Fear, because it wasn't bad at all. Like, there was no spots that were rough or any, like, or where the transitions were awkward.
Well, it was getting into the second half that was the worst part of it. The first half was amazing. I loved the first half, but then getting into the second just kind of ruined it for me. But it's super forceful,
Yeah,
yes.
the pacing on the ride kind of sucks, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
you have that great first half, and then, you know, the first, I can't speak. The first half is great. The middle section is awful. It's a kiddie coaster, and then it picks up again at the end.
It was just there was this one transition that should have been heartlined, but it wasn't. That just killed me. I got headbanging on that part because it flung so quick. It like twisted so quickly that my head ended up hitting like the side of the car. Um, so
I think I know what you're talking about. Was it like that turn before the corkscrew?
Yes, I think so. It was somewhere
that
in
part's
there.
pretty bad, I guess, but I don't know.
But it hit me in such a way that since I was in the back car or like second to back car, it just completely flipped it as quick as possible, and it just smacked me to the side. So that was my biggest problem with it. The first half was amazing though. I got complete tunnel vision for a good 25 seconds straight. So I'll take it where I can get it. Since I don't even gray out on Goliath anymore without trying, so.
How did Joker's Jinx Valley? That doesn't even have a mid-course, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I could see the LIMs not giving enough, if that makes
That's
sense.
true.
Because apparently they're less reliable than LSMs, so. But it happens. I mean, Full Throttle Valley, or well, it'll roll back, I guess, every once in a while, so. But usually that's operator error, as I learned on Reddit the other day, because apparently two people have to press the button, or somebody has to be holding the button while the other person presses the button, and if they don't do that perfectly, it doesn't make it all the way through the loop. So.
Speaking of Full Throttle,
Chick-fil-A the ride?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, what about it?
Well, they might add a Chick-fil-A to, and I think that's some noteworthy news.
What if they that building right across from Full Throttle's entrance? What is that? It's like a little souvenir and drink stall, right?
The barn? Is that what you're talking about?
No, like in the Full Throttle Plaza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I don't think they should make that the Chick-fil-A, honestly, because there's nowhere to get a drink without waiting in the park except for that place, and that would just suck. But,
True. Well, what's next to it? What's like immediately next to it?
immediately next to it is, like, I think chicken wings, and then on the other side is hot dogs. So I guess they could totally replace one of those with Chick-fil-A, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, that could totally work though. It wouldn't surprise me if they put it there, especially if, Chick-fil-A and Six Flags are going to have a joint relationship. So,
But I did hear from an employee that they're thinking about adding one, so... But then again, it's Six Flags, so... I don't know how reliable the employees are.
Just can't go on Sundays anymore, dang it. I can't ride full throttle, and I can't get my Chick-fil-A. Dang it.
That was a good joke, man.
That was pretty
good. On Sundays.
Yeah, Garrick is the mastermind.
Oh yeah, you stole from him. You took his credit.
Maybe. Did I credit him? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Maybe he said it.
I mean, okay, Garrick created, at least for the channel, Boys and Berries. Like, just he's done so many of the jokes. I can't even, like the What's in the Mystery Lodge thing. That's Garrick. That was all him. And then like Not Stary Farm. That was him too. So the dude's a mastermind. If he's still watching, I don't know. Probably not, but.
Did you talk about Magic Mountain 2019 in the last podcast? I feel like you probably did, right?
I did a little bit, but probably not. Not as well as I would have liked to.
Of the opinion that they should not add anything next year, as far as a coaster goes.
And that makes sense. Go for 2020. Big marketing there. And then you could even possibly try and add another coaster for 20 and 2021. That's hard to say. Or 21 and 2020.
Well, and it also just makes sense from like a financial perspective. I mean, if they're going to be adding this huge hype coaster, or hopefully Giga, but
yeah,
it would make so much more sense to just save up again this year and get another really good flat, like one of the Zamperla Endeavors or something, because they're already working with Zamperla, so I mean that would make sense.
Yeah, and I mean it would be cheaper, and also you could add a coaster for their 50th anniversary, which is 2021. Right,
I think that's a great move too, and so, that coaster doesn't have to be anything that special, but
No, I don't think so, but I don't know if they would or not, honestly. I think they'd try and combat the other anniversaries that are coming up in the next couple of years, because I mean you have the 100th anniversary of Knott's in 2020, and then you have the 150th for Cedar Point in 2020 as well, right? I think. So.
I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's some big landmarks coming up in 2020, so I think 2020 will be a huge year for coasters too.
Oh, it's already looking to be. I mean, people are already looking past 2019 at this point. 2019 is going to be really exciting, though.
Yeah. I'm sure there's confirmed RMCs. Not confirmed, but I'm sure there's deals that RMC has made for 2020 as well, so.
Yeah. Usually everything's planned out a couple years prior, so.
Well, yeah, and also, like, not to mention, they already have the 2019 completely booked, obviously.
Yeah, and they'll actually, they've probably got all the way to 2022 booked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So, honestly. I don't know. I just don't know where else the Mac would go, because there is a Mac coming to California for $20 million next year. Whether it's built for next year or not.
That it's going to be built next year, though? Because
I don't think it's confirmed.
Where?
So.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if a coaster gets shipped to Magic Mountain next year and
then they start building it for
next year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I would bet everything I have on that, honestly.
Especially if it's a Giga. If it actually ends up, or like the tallest hyper in the world or something like that. I don't think it'll be a Giga, but.
Well, they could easily go for tallest non-launch coaster in California.
True. Yeah. Actually, they could just say West Coast if they wanted.
Right. Yeah, because there's nothing else on the West
Or
Coast.
west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because that is true, isn't it? Because Desperado's what, something? It's not going to go to Great America.
Desperado's shorter than Goliath, so.
True. But yeah, the Mac Hyper is not going to Great America if it's a Hyper.
No.
It'll most likely be in at B&M. But yeah, they're doing a water park expansion for next year. It's pretty much already confirmed
Right.
at this point. So, uh, but we'll
Well,
see.
do you think they would even add a coaster in the next 2 years since it just got Railblazer? It's not like they get coasters very frequently.
Well, from what everyone's been saying at the higher ups at Cedar Fair, they're trying to put more and more money into CGA and
True.
knots. So, um,
Couldn't CGA use more flats too, though? I mean, similar to Magic Mountain.
yeah, I think so. Um, yeah, I definitely think so. Especially since they got their top spin, they could put in
Right.
something like the ABC Tourbillon or
Traviole.
yeah, whatever. Tourbillon. Uh, like it's mock. Wow, that was. Whew, like it's mock instead of Mac. Um, but
If Knott's got the Mac Hyper, that means something else, and that would surprise every single person,
that would surprise
both in the
everyone.
coaster community and outside of it.
I don't think it would be as big a surprise as SeaWorld though, because they're completely landlocked.
That's true.
So, um, but yeah, I don't know. I think Magic Mountain's like the obvious choice, but if I was to choose somebody else to get it, actually, I don't really know any other park that could get it, reasonably at least.
I mean, CGA is the only one, right?
Yeah,
Discovery Kingdom's definitely not getting a hyper coaster.
no, they can't get a hyper because their height limit issue.
150 feet tall and 250-foot drop that goes
Hey
100
man, if
feet
they dig
underground.
50 feet underground, I'm all for it. I mean, Goliath goes 30 feet
Yeah.
underground apparently, so it's doable. It'd be
Oh yeah, totally.
a lot more
But the
expensive, but
the new dive at Canada's Wonderland goes pretty far underground too.
true. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a weird couple of years. Like
In a good way.
oh yeah, in a very good way. It almost feels like the Coaster Wars are coming back, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
So if they haven't been back already, because it kind of feels like that with the emergence of RMC, everybody's been stepping
Right.
up their game way higher than usual.
Because they have to. If they don't, they'll become obsolete. Especially
Yep.
since RMC is doing multiple models, like only a few years into really coming out.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at this. New Texas Giant. What year was that? 2012, 2013?
Shoot,
No, it was 2012.
somewhere around there.
And now, it's 6 years later, and they've already got
Oh, 2011.
11. Okay, but it's you know not even been 10 years, and they're already talked about as the best manufacturer on the planet.
Right.
So, I mean, B&M, it still took them a little longer to become a household name. Uh,
Well, right, and look at their first works. They're complete garbage. I mean, I know that's only relative to what's out now, but I mean, RMC's first project being New Texas Giant, that's insane.
yeah, I mean, when Texas Giant came out, it was mind blowing. I mean,
Right.
granted, the first Batman was mind blowing, but that was still not their
That's
first
true.
coaster. So they had made sit downs before then. So,
Right.
um, but I mean, Arrow took 10 or 15 years or something like that, right? Because, well, when was Matterhorn? 63?
Well, right, because they didn't even start working on roller coasters. But I guess if you want to get that technical, RMC didn't really start with original works,
Well, true. They were reworking wood coasters for a
which
long
they do a
time.
really good job of. So,
1959 was Matterhorn. And then you didn't have the first looping coaster until Corkscrew at Knott's. and that opened in 1975. So that's a full 16 years that it took them to
Right.
really kick it off. So that's pretty crazy, though.
Somebody said RMC should redo Apocalypse, and I agree 100%. It's a concept that's a bit out there, but it would be pretty awesome.
No, I think they could. I definitely think they could. It's just I know that GCIs are a lot harder to RMC. You just look at Joker, you know.
Yeah, but Joker's still a fantastic ride.
True. I just don't want it playing second fiddle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that kind of feels the same way with Riddlers and Scream. Scream feels like it's playing second fiddle to Riddlers half the time, so. Even though they're technically different ride experiences. At least to me. Because I like Riddlers more, if you sit correctly at least, so.
I mean, I'm sure at the time, though, nobody was complaining when they got Scream
Oh, no.
after Riddler, you know what I mean?
Definitely not. No one was complaining about Riddlers after Batman, or...
Right.
So, but...
Because it's literally impossible to have a better coaster every year, you know what I mean?
True. You gotta add a
And
kitty
GP
coaster every once in
isn't
a
like,
while.
oh, that's the same manufacturer, I'm going to compare these two rides, you know? They're just going to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Magic Mountain could take out a couple coasters and try and
Oh, yeah.
remake up ground from that. Like, they could take out, well, I think they could take out Tidal Wave and Green Lantern.
Definitely.
And then they could take out one of the kiddie coasters, most likely Canyon Blaster or whatever it is, the one that we can't even ride because we're too tall.
Right.
So, and you could put a lot in that space of that coaster, because that's a big coaster. At least
I think
space
the
wise.
most compelling thing is taking out Green Lantern and Tidal Wave, because that's a good plot of land, if for nothing else, a station. And I feel like you could easily also have a ride wrap around Riddler, because there's a lot of unused space.
Definitely, you could even
flying
squeeze track in between the two drops of Batman and Riddler. So,
Yeah, definitely.
and a lot of
I
people.
think you could fit like RMC Raptor in that spot, honestly, like a custom
You
layout.
totally
I think that's
could.
far-fetched.
But I was thinking a turnaround for a hyper or something, because it would follow that path behind.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I
Well,
think that
especially
would.
with the rumored Mac coaster.
Yeah, and it rumored being there. So, in that spot. At least that's what Screamscape's been saying, so. And they're not
What do you
always
think about
right,
the
but.
scale of it? Oh, sorry, interrupt you again.
You're fine. Goodness. What's that coaster called? Magic Flyer, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that coaster's kind of big.
Like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, at one point when that other president was in charge and wanted it to be like Disneyland.
I think it's funny when Magic Mountain tries to do anything with licensing. I feel like it's such a lost cause.
I mean, look at Terminator. That movie flopped and they were like, no thanks, we're good.
Yeah. I mean, they don't pick good IPs to begin with, and even if they did, I think they'd be too cheap to renew the license.
Yeah. I don't think they need licenses, to be honest.
No, they don't. That's why I'm so confused as to why they even get licenses in the first place.
It's to try and bring more people in, to try and equate themselves to, you know, a Universal or Disney, because so many people go to those parks just because they're related to a movie they like, you know?
That's true.
So, because, like, I go, or my mom likes to go to Universal because of Harry Potter, because she's a big Harry Potter fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why I went my most recent visit.
Yeah. And, like, my brother wants to go because he's a big Jurassic Park fan.
Right.
And, like, I go to Disneyland because... Yeah. That's all I
If
got.
there were a whole Warner Brothers park, that'd be great, but it just couldn't be Six Flags.
Well, there are a couple. I mean, you've got the one
Right.
in Spain and then the one in Australia. So,
I'm sure he was referring more to the states, but they
yeah,
definitely could do something like that in the states. But it's
true.
just not going to be Six Flags. They can't do theming, and I think part of the problem is people don't expect it from them. So when they do attempt to do it, it doesn't really bring in new visitors because they're just going to go to your Universals or Disneyland if they want theming.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're in an oversaturated market for theme parks, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Orlando, you could argue the same thing, but people that go to Orlando go for just the parks. You're not coming to LA just for the parks, for usually.
No, definitely not.
Maybe Disney, but yeah, you're doing a bunch of different things in LA. Where in Orlando, all you got is the parks.
Right.
Maybe the science center or something, but there's not really too much else.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many visitors come from like across the country or out of the country to Six Flags because I can't imagine it's that high.
Um, I only know of like one Brit, really, and that was Theme Park Worldwide. So I really don't know of any other people coming out from out of the country to visit it, unless it's like Canada
Right.
or Mexico.
Well, because
Whereas,
like you said, the people are coming to LA for things other than the amusement parks, and Disneyland and Universal are just like the inevitable stops along the way.
yeah. Whereas if you have, the stark contrast of a Magic Mountain with all these coasters and thrill rides, if you have that option, take it. So, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I just hope they get something good in the next couple years. Granted, I
Yeah.
love Crazanity. I love Justice League. What was before that? I don't even remember what was before that.
Before Justice League, I think was Twisted, no?
Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh,
I
right.
think, or was no, it was New Revolution. Then it was Speedy
Oh,
Gonzalez,
yes, yes.
and then the year before
Was it though?
Speedy
I'm just saying yes
was
because I don't know.
shoot. What was before Speedy? I think it was. Oh, before
Before
Speedy was
Speedy
Twisted.
was Twisted, right?
I think. When was Speedy actually? Speedy
Let me
was
go to Wikipedia.
2014. Oh, okay. Never mind. Full Throttle was 2013, right? 2014? I really don't
No,
know
Full
my
Throttle was
years.
like 2011 or 2012, I think.
Nope. June 2013.
We're just all over the place.
I know, right? Oh, and then
Uh,
Green Lantern was 2011. Okay. New Revolution was 2 years ago. What was in between then? I don't remember. But Twisted was 15.
what was in between what?
Twisted and New Revolution.
Um, no idea.
Huh. Also, RCDB totally calls Green Lantern and X2 wing coasters.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think their classification of wing coasters is funny. I mean, I guess it makes sense because you're sitting on the outside of the track, but
True. It does make sense in that sense, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
what do you think about the rumored, or maybe it's confirmed, budget of the Mac coaster coming to California?
Well, they said 20 million euro, right?
No, I think it was 20 million USD. I don't know.
Really? Okay. Well, if it's 20 million USD, it's probably not going to be as Well, actually, let me look up Australian dollar to
Okay, so
use.
the one I haven't seen it from any solid sources. I guess it's all kind of like third-hand information I've gotten, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But
Yeah.
I heard that it was 22 USD for DC Rivals, and or the California Mac is going to be 20 million USD.
Yeah, someone in the comments just actually said that it was 30 in Australian, which is 22 in US,
Right.
pretty much. So, or it's 22 in 300,000.
Because when I first heard that it was going to be 22 million, I'm like, oh, is that Australian dollars? Because then
Then it'd be 16 million US
Magic,
dollars,
right?
which is sad. Unless it's like a Raptor or something, then it's like, whoo. So, but
I think that it'll still be like a solid ride, but I think they're more likely to go with a taller ride and a shorter layout than a long layout and shorter ride, just because they're Magic Mountain.
I can believe that. I want to look up how long in Hypercoaster, how long it is in feet for DC Rivals.
Because Magic Mountain needs a long ride, honestly. I mean, obviously they have Twisted Colossus. I'm sick of like the full throttles and Green Lanterns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, 1.4 kilometers. So, okay, 4,000, almost 4,600 feet.
Okay, that's solid.
I could see them going only 4,200 feet, maybe even less.
That's not terrible, honestly. I think 4,000 plus is pretty darn good, even if it is a tall hyper.
Yeah. Well, let me look up. Um, Wait, Diamondback is like the longest hyper, right? So let me look up Behemoth. I don't know how long it is. Behemoth is 5,000 feet. 5,300. So it'd be definitely a shorter hyper. But what could help is having a steeper lift hill. Which DC Rivals has a 45-degree angle lift hill, I think. So
yeah, so it's already pretty steep as is, honestly.
yeah, and if they could pull off 50 degrees, they could, shorten that lift hill
like
by
Steel Curtain.
well, yeah, exactly. But they could shorten the lift hill by, another 100, 200 feet by just going at that steep of an angle. I mean, look at Hang Time's lift. So that's a 90-degree lift hill, and
well, also they could do more of like speed hills than really tall airtime hills.
True, and that would save track length too. So I don't know.
And if that cuts down on ride time, that's fine if it adds to like insane intensity. So
Yeah. So oh man. What time is it? Holy cow. It's almost 4:20. We're off by a minute. Dang.
dang man, we've been going for like almost 2 hours.
Jeez, we should probably end it here then. Holy cow. I got a lot of work to do. Ugh.
Same man.
But it's always fun to actually talk about coasters. But yeah, I could probably talk for another hour or two, honestly. But
Yeah.
we'll save that for another time when we do like, I don't know, a 2,000 subscriber special or something. I don't know.
1,000 subscribers special. 2,000.
Yeah, like 2,000. Yeah.
Again, it's still cutting out 2 hours in.
I'm sorry, my laptop's whack. But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out Mario on Instagram. It's at Mostly Coasters. He's been awesome this stream.
Check it out for some garbage.
What? When am I gonna go do the podcast at
Follow me
Knott's?
for inaccurate information that I quickly delete.
You're good, Mario. It's all good. You know the Instagram community is kind of crazy at times, but um, when are we gonna do the podcast at Knots? I don't know. I don't know how good the Knots Wi-Fi is for doing a full podcast, so we'll actually have to wait and see. But you guys have been awesome in the chat today, and thank you guys for joining with us on the longest video on this channel ever so far. If you didn't even stay
Yeah.
the whole time, that's still pretty impressive. But thank you guys for joining. It's been awesome. I'm really excited for the next year. I'm sad about the locker situation, and I'm interested in Steel Curtain. What about you, Mario?
I agree.
Cool. Oh, it's been good, but yeah, we'll do this again in 2 weeks on a Sunday. Time kind of varies depending on what's going on, but it will definitely be in 2 weeks on a Sunday for the next podcast. And as always, we'll see you on the next ride, guys.